Hey everybody, I'm Beck Cranford, and I just wanted to comment a little bit on Stay Woke and also Black Lives Matter. I want to speak specifically to those of you who have Pentecostal roots. That means those of you who may be in the Vineyard tradition, or maybe you're in a Calvary chapel. Maybe you have charismatic worship, so you're in a Church of God in Christ. Maybe you go to a Word of Faith church. Maybe you're in attend an Assemblies of God church, right? Or a United Pentecostal church. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the history of the Pentecostals here in America. You see, the fan was really flamed of the Spirit by William Seymour, who was, in fact, an African-American man. He went to a Bible college. He wanted to study. He was full of the Spirit of God. And because of the time and the systematic evils, he was made to sit outside a classroom so he could listen, so he could study the Bible. But this was a man who was full of the presence of God, and his heart was fervent to spread this message of joy and holiness across the land. And he really did help spread that fame and spread that fire. So if you're a person who understands what it means when you hear someone talk about Joel chapter 2 or God's Spirit being poured out upon all flesh, then you understand that Spirit was poured out in America. And it was fanned across, and it was flamed across by a man who was black, by a man who was considered in society at that time to be less than. But we know that that's not true. And the early Pentecostals also believed that women could aspire to be pastors and that they could be preachers. And that's the heritage, the boldness, and the fire that we have for those of us who have Pentecostal roots. You may have moved on from those traditions. You may have found yourself in a position where you could no longer stay because of justice issues, but I'm asking you today to think about these justice issues, to hear from these voices from the margins, voices of women, voices of people of color, and to truly listen and to talk about these things, because God, Spirit, wants us to get it together. So Black Lives Matter, and I need you to stay woke, and I need you to get out, and I need you to listen, and I need you to hear, because we can change this thing. That's just me. That's Beck. Peace out. Bye.